Okay, good morning, everybody. We are super excited to do this next episode of the Tulsa Life podcast. And this morning we have one of my favorite guests. I know she's one of my favorites because she's so awesome. But Savannah Meadows is here. And Savannah, tell us a little bit. You're part of our team. And not just a part of our team, but you also have your own business in addition to being a real estate agent. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, I'm an interior designer, have my own design business. That's what I went to school for. So I love real estate.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school at OSU. Yes, that was my degree.
How did I not know this? That's where I went to.
Okay, go Pokes.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Dirk is like a huge Sooner fan. So then when we got married, it's like this whole house divided. So now I'm like, I like the Sooners, but I love OSU. So it's like a like-love relationship.
Yeah. I was kind of like an OU just because when growing up.
And then you went to OSU.
And then I went to OSU. My husband went to OSU. We're like, yeah, for sure.
It's like the most fun school. Like everybody's so nice.
Yes.
And I didn't go to OU, but I feel like everybody at OSU is just way nicer than.
Yeah. I think people say that a lot.
Now we're just lost half of our following, just left and okay, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, we love everybody. We love OU. We love OSU. But our heart is at OSU.
Yeah, for sure.
So you got your
OSU,
interior design degree.
Yes. So it was like design, housing, and merchandising, but then I had an emphasis in interior design and facility management.
Okay, so tell me this. I always get confused.
Okay.
I always feel like it's kind of like when you are if you're specialized in certain things and people tell you, no, that's not what I do. Like my brother is a doctor and, I ask him questions like, that's not what I do. I'm like this type of doctor.
Yeah.
Like now he's an ER, so he sees everything. But what is the difference between an interior decorator and interior designer? Because there's a big difference.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this for a while.
Yes. So for design, mainly background is school, having a little bit more, obviously schooling is the big part. Anyone can just say they're a decorator.
I'm a decorator.
Yeah. But a lot of people don't know that after school, mainly people that do commercial design, they sit for their NCIDQ, which is another test that you have to take after you go to college pretty much. And
so it's kind of like going to med school and then having your MCATs. Okay.
Yes, for that. And I didn't take that just because I was doing residential design, and residential design, sometimes you don't need as much, I guess it would be cool to have it. It's really cool, but it's really expensive and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And after school, I was just I'm
kind of ready to go and do this.
Yes. So
and you have.
Yes. After college, I went and worked at an architecture firm, which was so fun. I learned, I think, really a lot about kind of the behind the scenes process and just really the process of it. And then I worked in commercial for a little bit and then I decided to go out on my own. I just am a go-getter, I feel like. So I was just
definitely are. So what's the name of your business?
CG Design Co., which stands for Collected Goods Design Co.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of came across, or I guess named it that, just because I like to feel like your home should feel collected. It shouldn't feel like you just walked into a furniture store, like a big box store, and just was I want this set, And so collected, you want it to feel like it's your space and collected. So I just say CG Design Co., which is fun.
I love that. Yeah. Okay. When you are designing, because this is something too that I think I've always I'm super interested in.
Yeah.
Let's say that somebody's I'm ready to just start all over with my house. I love my house. I love my location, but I'm tired of how it looks. Yeah. And so when you come in, do you help them design the whole flow of the rooms? Do you help them? Can you help them if they wanted to say, let's open this space up and I really wish that our living room and our kitchen were opened up. Can you help them know what that looks like and then make that feel like a really open, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can come in and do pretty much really anything like that. I think it too depends on your contractor and who you're working with and stuff like that. But I can mainly come in if you want just a furniture layout. I can help you with furniture, or we can go shop. Some people want just decor, which is fun. But mainly I have programs that we can come in and do a whole floor plan.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I do a lot of new builds too. So I have a couple new build projects actually that are really fun.
Right now, tell us what you're working on, because this is super exciting.
Yes. So this year I'm working on the Tulsa Designer Showcase House,
which is a big deal.
That is a big deal to get selected to be a designer.
I mean, this is something
There's like
that,
25 designers.
yeah. And how many designers? There's so many different designers in the Tulsa area.
Yeah.
So for you to be one of 25,
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. That's awesome.
Yeah, I felt really grateful that I'm going to get to do that this year. It's my first year to participate on my own. So I've worked at other companies where they've participated. So I kind of had a background and like knew. Yeah. Yep. So I was like, man, I think I'm going to do this on my own this year.
And you have. You've done it.
I did it. I did the, it's the powder bath. So they're calling it the public powder bath. There's several powder baths in this room.
Okay.
It's a really big house and it's really pretty.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
So when you guys do that, like, I mean, I feel like, let's say there's 25 designers. So the 25 designers are doing this one big house.
Yes.
And so do you guys like collaborate on that? So, or do you just say, I'm going to do whatever it is that I want to do in this room. And then somebody else might have a totally different room that has a totally unrelated theme.
Yeah. I think that's the goal.
Okay.
I think that's the goal for sure. I think this year they did a really great job. So I have like my bathroom is kind of down a hallway, so I'm not really connected to any other space.
You
so
really
I was
do kind of have a standalone.
Yeah, I was able to really do my own thing. But I also didn't want it to go against the house. You kind of have to know the house, and there's some elements that we weren't allowed to change, like the floors, things like that you kind of have to work around, and that's part of designing. Because
you don't want to go into like 5 different rooms, and every room has different flooring.
Yes.
Every room has, like crazy colors, and it just doesn't.
Yes.
So I guess that would, honestly, if your flooring is the same, then that's pretty cohesive.
Yes. And I think that was the goal of the current
that
homeowners, was to keep that cohesive, but everything else is pretty much open floor plan in the main area. So I think they did a good job this year. It looks really good.
Yeah. And our team is we were just talking about this morning in our morning meeting, that we're going to show up and like come and see what you've done. And
I'm
it's
so
going to be,
excited.
which we've had a lot of like sneak peeks, because I love your Instagram. Like I love all your reels and everything. And you and Bailey is your husband.
Yes.
And he's helped you out a lot.
Yes. I couldn't have done this without him. So shout out Bailey.
There you go.
I keep trying to tell him to like come work for me, because he's an awesome person. He's like, I don't tell people I can do this, but
I don't want people to know.
Yeah. He's an engineer. So he has his own, he does his own thing, but he definitely helps me out. So I couldn't have done it without him.
No,
for sure.
I love like watching that progression like happen, and then I can't wait to see the finished product.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's done. So I like want to share the finished product.
Now you're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, but
so give us the dates.
Yes.
And is it something that's open?
Yes, it's open to the public starting May 4th.
Okay.
So May 4th, it opens, and then the 21st. I don't know. I think it's the 21st, maybe the 20th.
Yes.
Yeah. So a few weeks in May, it's open. Tickets are $15, so you can go online, buy your tickets.
And tell us the name of it again, so our listeners can jot it down.
So it's the Tulsa Designer Showcase House, and it's put on this year by the HBA, the Home Builders Association of Tulsa. And all of the ticket sales goes to the Tulsa Public School Foundation.
So
it supports that. So yeah.
So everybody needs to get out.
Yes.
Go buy their tickets.
Yes.
Come see all of the cool designers.
Yes.
And it is like designers are being showcased. And so if you have a need, you're going to love Savannah, and she can come help you design it. You need to come. Oh my gosh. When you're talking about all these different styles and, everybody having their own, kind of personality.
Yes, for sure.
Because I really do feel like, especially when we see a lot of homes and different people have different personalities, and that really shines through in their design. I don't know what my personality is. For somebody like I feel like I have a pretty big personality.
Yeah, a very bright personality.
Yeah, and then like my house is so monochromatic and like it's so boring.
But maybe that's like you use that as like a space to where you're so like bright, and maybe that's like a calming space for you
bright
to like
enough that I don't. Yeah, that's it. I don't need anything. We need to dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'll have to come take a look.
Dirk can only handle so much brightness. He's like, okay, I got it. This is it. Yeah,
I can't do this.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So what's your favorite style?
Ooh, that's hard. So I don't know. I would say my go-to of like my inspiration is more mid-century modern.
Okay.
I really love that. Yes. That's like my personal design style.
And is that still like a lot of like golds, and like because I feel like mid-century modern has like really cool angles, like really cool designs, but a lot of like golds and like power, like kind of bold things.
Yeah. I think really the piece, like furniture pieces for me is like the style that I like for that. And like angles and just really
cool
clean
shapes.
and like clean.
Like clean lines. Like,
yes. I love clean lines.
Me too.
And I'm not a big like maximalist. that's just not my design style. But I also you always have to keep in mind your client. So it's like, that's my personal design style. But if you love a good maximalism house or lots of things, or you like transitional or contemporary, like,
so I never know, what does transitional mean?
Transitional is just pretty much the in-between, I feel like, of like modern and contemporary design. So a lot of people say like, oh, I love modern.
Like the
or
modern
they say
farmhouse, I hear that a lot with like use modern farmhouse and then transitional.
Yeah,
like,
it's just that in-between of, I think, one style from another. And so, if a lot of people say they like mid-century, but you show them mid-century things,
and then they're like, oh, that's not what I was thinking.
What I want. Maybe it's more of a transitional look that you like, more of a modern transitional, or like, I feel like we're in Oklahoma, so a lot of people love that like rustic farmhouse.
Yeah,
which is great if you do it. I feel like it can be done in a great way of more of a transitional style.
Okay, so on that note, I was really, and this is me and my big mouth again. I had a friend, we went to dinner one night and they were going to be building a house, and she's telling me all these things, and I was like, just please tell me that you're not going to build a like modern white farmhouse.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she's like, should I not?
And I was like, oh, she was going for it
so bad. And I was like, no. I mean, like, because that is, I mean, I feel like that is so popular, and it has been so popular that I'm a little bit hesitant to continue down that path, because I just feel like things just change.
Yes.
So what do you see that's kind of coming back, really? Yeah. Because I feel like all of these styles have all come and gone. Mm-hmm. And they will continue to do so.
Yeah.
So there's great news for you.
Yeah.
If you have an old home that was built in the 70s and it's mid-century modern, guess what? You're back in style.
Yay.
But also if you've built something that has, I feel like, beiges and like browns. So what are you seeing that's like kind of
coming back?
Yeah, or popular right now?
Yeah, I am seeing a lot of the like more warm tones, because there for a while we were on a gray kick. Like everything was gray, white, black. We're starting to see everything like kind of turn around and be more warm and inviting, which I think it all just depends. Like there's a difference between a trend, and some people love to follow the trends. But I truly believe that like a contemporary transitional home will stand the test of time, like a timeless design. I think I always try to steer my clients into that, because if not, it just becomes a trend. And then in 5 years, your house is dated. And so that's really hard. I feel like I'm going to say this, and I might offend some people.
It's a safe place. It's all right.
But painted brick is like my least favorite thing. If someone could say, right like, what is your least favorite thing? That is my least favorite. Painted brick or stone. Like, I live in a neighborhood that has a lot of stone homes, and they're painted.
And they're painted. Okay. So tell me why you feel that way. You just don't like the look of them?
Yeah, I just feel like I love the look of a brick house.
I do too. And I like the natural.
Yes.
Me too.
And so I think a painted house right now is very trendy. Mm-hmm. And so my husband and I, actually, Bailey and I were talking about this yesterday, of how we should probably start a paint removal like exterior company.
I think you're right.
Because in a couple years, everyone that's painted their house white, like, I'm so sorry to say it.
No, I know. And there's so many people that have.
Yeah.
So this is the other thing.
Trend.
When we're talking about trends and when we're talking about even painted brick.
Yeah.
Painted, well, let's just say this. Brick was not really intended to be painted.
Yeah.
Like, so brick is a, it's a natural type look.
Absorbs.
And it absorbs.
Yes.
What happens is, and I see this in my neighborhood, like all the time you're driving by, and especially like on head walls and things like that it just peels.
Yes.
And so there's maintenance involved. Mm-hmm. And if you don't keep on top of it, then it ends up looking like it's deferred maintenance, and people think you're not taking care of things. And you really are. It's just, you can't, I mean, anything that brushes up against it or hard winds.
Well, and especially in Oklahoma, white brick, it gets dirty really fast.
It does.
Because of the wind and just Oklahoma rain. Like, there's a lot of maintenance to it. And so you can't just paint it and expect it to last like brick will.
And don't panic. Again, if you have painted brick, that is still a very popular trend.
Yeah. I mean,
it looks,
it can be
really
pretty
great
in its own way, I think. But just, I feel like I've just seen every house and I'm like, oh, we're,
And I think there for a while, that was like the number one thing, like how to update your home.
Yes.
I mean, you'd get online and be like, okay, what are the best ways to update your home? Paint your bricks, paint your rock.
Yeah.
And it became such a popular thing to do that it was like this is an updated home. It's got painted brick.
Right.
The rock has been painted.
Right.
And I I think that it still looks good.
Yeah,
So,
sparingly.
yes.
That's the thing. I think it's like
But
sparingly.
I also think there's something about seeing that natural look
I
that
know.
I tend to
too.
like more. Now, I'm actually, my style, I love modern.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yes, your house is
it's super
so
modern.
Yeah.
It is so modern. And I told Dirk when we were building, I was like, we are going so far modern that, and no different than everything we've talked about.
Right.
It's our style. It's our preference.
Yes.
I am a real estate broker and I know this, but we built because that's what our style was and that was what our preference was. It is not going to be appealing to every buyer.
Yep.
So when it is time for us to sell our home, we also have to know that we're doing this because we love it.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, I have, painted my brick or I have, done the things, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because this is the really cool thing that we see in our business, and you being in real estate is such a natural transition and it works so well together with the design business, is that there are so many preferences that you're always going to find somebody who's going to fall in love with your home, because there's a good chance that the same things that you love are the things that person will love.
Yes, exactly.
So don't panic. That's right.
Yeah, that's just my personal opinion.
No, and everyone has one.
Yeah, and if you love it, then I say go for it.
So what about projects wise? Is there anything that you just like, this has been one of my favorite projects that I've done?
Yeah.
And what would that be one of those more traditional styles? You said traditional was your favorite. No, what did you say?
Personally, I like mid-century, but I think for like my overall design style and what I want my clients to see is more of that like transitional contemporary. Okay. Like I have several clients that do love that like ultra modern. Like I'm working on a new build right now that they love that look and really clean lines. And that's great. Like I definitely can do all of those things. You don't want to just like limit yourself to only what you love.
What you like.
Yeah. So I'm working on that, which is, I'm really excited about it. They just broke ground. So
I would think that would be like fun, because I think that even, when we were doing this office, like we bought this office and it's like, I mean, for those of you who've never been to our office, our accent color is orange.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I mean, OSU girls.
I know, right? I was like, okay, this is great.
But at the same time, you're like, our office has an orange theme. And you're like, that sounds horrible.
Yeah,
and
but it works.
Like so awful.
Yeah.
But then you come in and you're like, oh, okay, I can see how this kind of works.
Yeah.
And I think
commercial and residential, sorry to interrupt, but commercial and residential design is like,
you can totally do different things.
Yes. So a pop of orange in here, but like
might not be the same as a home.
Exactly.
Yes, I totally agree with that. But I also think that goes back to that client style. And if they said, this is really what I want, like I am a huge OSU fan. And one of your clients that is a mutual friend of mine, they're a huge OSU fan. I'm surprised that their home doesn't have orange in it.
I know. I know so much. Yes.
But I think that's really cool that you can go and say, whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever your style is, I can make this cool. I can make this look great.
What we did in that house, I know what you're talking about. We like on a gallery wall, we did some fun OSU prints like of library lawn and just like some things that like take you back there, so you can show that you love OSU or whatever you love in ways that aren't tacky.
Kind of theme rooms are really great for that, like theater rooms or dens. Even offices I've seen.
Yes.
Especially like, people that are diehard sports fans.
Yes.
That you can
dedicated room.
Yes. We have friends that have like their whole, I guess they call it media room. They have multiple TVs and they have like jerseys and they have like sports memorabilia. And you can make those things work. Like we were kind of talking about with the designer showcase home.
Yep.
Like that you have different themes for different rooms. No different than having like a baby's room or having,
and just making sure it all flows together in a way that still shows that like, oh, I'm a big sports fan and I love these jerseys and displaying them in a cool way, but not taking away from the whole
house. You can take all these weird things that people like.
Yes.
Or, their preferences and then bring them together to make something beautiful and to make it work.
Yep.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how do people get a hold of you? How do people find you?
Yeah. So I'm still pretty small. I'm just, still starting out. So pretty much I do everything on Instagram. So you can find me on Instagram, CG Design Co. And I try to post as much as I can, but it's sometimes so hard. I get behind on social media to
don't you
post
feel like you get so wrapped up in life?
Yes.
Like that's how I am. I'm the worst. Heather's always like, Erin, you really need to post more on your personal pages. And I'm like, yeah, but that's like I mean, I don't know. I don't think about it. So
I know.
I feel you.
I'll be like after the fact of like a really cool install or something, and I'm
And
like,
you're like,
oh, I should have set up my
documented
camera.
that better.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a process of getting things started, but hopefully I'm working on a website right now. So I'm
That's
trying to get
exciting.
something up and going just for, I'm hoping this year, just after Designer Showcase, like being able to get my name out there a little bit more, that I'll be able to take on more clients and have a landing page for that. So right now it's just Instagram, but I'm hoping to get a
I love
website.
that.
Yeah.
And then you're still doing real estate.
Yes.
And
which
you're
I
so
love.
good at that.
Thank you.
And I really love too. This is the other thing that, for like going out, especially when people are selling their homes, it works on both sides.
Yep.
If you're showing homes that people are your buyers, they don't have the vision.
Yep.
And they go into something, you have like really awesome vision to walk into a home and go, you can make this incredible.
Yeah. That's kind of why I got my license, my real estate license. Because I was like, this goes hand in hand. I've always loved real estate. And I was like, if I could help clients really envision that, because I know when we were looking for our first time home, it was like really hard. Like even for me sometimes to like go into a home and see what other people have done with it and then try to like take all of that away and envision yourself in there.
Yes.
So I think that's really awesome that I can do that for my clients.
They pair so nicely.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side too, with the seller, I mean, what a great benefit that is as well.
For sure.
As a seller to help them and say, here are the things that you can do. Because one of the things that I love is that you can come in and you can actually help clients in the rooms and go, let's rearrange the furniture a little bit. Let's make this feel a little bit more open.
Yep.
Or let's give this room even a little bit more structure because it does flow into the other rooms.
Right.
And even I think one of the hardest things, I think you get, I don't know what the word is. I'm going to say colorblind. It's you get so accustomed to what your home looks like.
Right.
That you don't see the things when somebody else comes in.
Yes.
And then they can identify really quickly that even though your favorite color, is deep purple and it doesn't necessarily go with like all your other stuff, like you could go, hey, let's tone down this purple wall.
Yes.
Because not everybody is going to like purple.
Exactly.
And so let me give you some options of things.
It's like when you have like pets in your home and then you don't know, you can't smell it.
Yes.
And then someone comes in and I always am like, I have a dog and a cat. So I'm always like, please tell me if my house
smells
please. I will never get offended. So that's what I want, furniture wise or colors, like never get offended because it's what you like, but you are selling your home. So you have to depersonalize.
And you have to remember that when you're living in your home and when you're going to be enjoying your home, that's a totally different season of life than when you're ready to sell it and market it and have other people come. So helping them navigate that is just a huge benefit, I think, to all your clients.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for being on today.
So much.
And one more time, Savannah Meadows, tell them your Instagram again.
It's just CG. I think it's CG Design Co. I'll have to look. I mean, it's CG Design Co.
Yes. And you can find her on Instagram and she's amazing. So if you have any need for real estate or design, she's your girl.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for being on. See, didn't that go by fast?
It was so fast.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.